time of dissolution, the Lord sometimes appears as a small baby lying on a leaf of a banyan tree, floating on the devastating waters. Therefore, Devahuti suggests your lying down within the abdomen of a common woman like me is not astonishing. You can lie down on the leaf of a banyan tree and float on the water of devastation as a small baby. It is not very wonderful, therefore, that you can lie down in the abdomen of my body. You teach us that those who are very fond of children within this material world and who therefore enter into marriage to enjoy family life with children can also have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their child. And the most wonderful thing is that the Lord Himself licks His toe. Since all the great sages and devotees apply all energy and all activities in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there must be some transcendental pleasure in the toes of His lotus feet. The Lord licks His toe to taste the nectar for which the devotees always aspire. Sometimes the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself wonders how much transcendental pleasure is within Himself. And in order to taste His own potency, He sometimes takes the position of tasting Himself. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna Himself, but He appears as a devotee to taste the sweetness of the transcendental mellow in Himself, which is tasted by Srimati Radharani, the greatest of all devotees. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So Mother Devahuti is expressing her wonder, having realized Lord Kapila was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whose abdomen the entire cosmic manifestation comes out. How such a personality from whom entire cosmic manifestation is coming, and she being part of this cosmic manifestation, how is it that this very same Lord appeared in her abdomen and immediately her thoughts are that yes, why is it not possible when the very same Lord lies on the leaf of a banyan tree in the form of a small baby licking his own toes, licking the toe of his lotus foot. So she's appreciating the inconceivable potencies of the Lord by which He can do anything. Just like this question is just like, how can this room is so big? How can this room fit into my, suppose I show this room in my belly, how can it fit? Because the room is outside me. How again I can show inside? This is one of the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Yesterday we were discussing about the Vishnu Tattva, how the personality of Vishnu, personality of Narayana, personality of Krishna are different from the personality of Jiva. The Jiva has limited capacity of its senses. How far I can see, there is a limitation. What all obstacles through which I can see? There is a limitation. Through glass I can see, through brick I cannot see through. Suppose I had a special kind of an eyes, which no object can stop, I'll see through. And then if that kind of a vision, also let us say it is, distance is unlimited. So if this concept of distance is unlimited, distance is connected to speed also, isn't it? An ant may feel that going from here to here is like going around the world. Like for us. For us, walking from here to here is only 5 foot. So it depends on our capacity to speed with which we can walk. Our concept of distance also changes. The Lord is anything He has got unlimited speed of walking, reaching, seeing. So what happens to such a person's perception? Does distance matter? He transcends space. Space is there. If space is not there, then there is no point in talking about speed. Space is there, but it transcends space. It transcends time. Now in our concept, if you learn the history, then we may take our mind back and say, okay, 500 years back, 1000 years back, like this you can think. As far as Lord is concerned, He transcends time, is an eternal dimension where at a point He can see present, past, future. These are actually Shaktis of the Lord, these are all potencies of the Lord. Just like if someone does some wonderful things, you start getting bewildered and appreciate it and glorify that person. The very same way we should glorify, it is natural for us to glorify the wonderful qualities of the Lord, by which, because of His omnipotency, as Mother Devahuti is saying, within the water of devastation, which happens at every 1000 yugas, every day of Brahma, partial dissolution. In that waters, the Lord is lying as a baby on a banyan leaf and is sucking his toe. So totally all these things are inconceivable potencies of the Lord. Therefore, it's very much possible for the Lord to do anything to come into the abdomen of an ordinary woman like me. To understand this helps us to have faith that even though I am an insignificant jiva, even though I am a fallen jiva, still, not because of my fallen state, but because of the inconceivable mercy of the Lord, it is possible for Him to liberate me from this material world. It is possible for Him to free me from all ignorance. His potency being unlimited, His mercy being unlimited, these thoughts bring hope to the devotee that by the mercy of the Lord, I can definitely cross over this ocean of material existence, which is otherwise mama maya dhuratya, it's impossible to overcome. So the devotee always has this quality of the Lord in his mind, that the Lord is can do anything which normally is inconceivable. Especially for his devotee, the Lord can do anything. And Prabhupada says another point in this verse, how the Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. The Lord's body is a reservoir of all pleasures. Body means not body as we think. It's still a body, but not body as we think. The idea of a body is coming from transcendental idea of body. But here that transcendental idea of body is made up of not chitta, it is made up of not internal energy, it is made up of external energy of the Lord. This Panchabhuta. But the idea of that Lord has a body, and his body is, the Lord himself is tasting the pleasure content of his body by sucking his own toes. Another wonderful thing Prabhupada says here is that all the sages, great devotees, they apply all their energy and activities in service of the lotus feet of the Lord, to please the lotus feet of the Lord. And lotus feet of the Lord, therefore Prabhupada using the logic, there must be some transcendental pleasure in the toes of the lotus feet. Just like devotees focus on the holy name of the Lord, the reason is there must be something sweet in that holy name. In the same way, the lotus feet of the Lord, holy name of the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord is also very sweet. Especially so, very sweet in protective rasa. Cool shade of the protection of the lotus feet. Every jiva needs protection because he is tiny. And the lotus feet of the Lord is personification of protection. Lotus feet of the Lord is also personification of devotion. We become devoted to the lotus feet of the Lord. Different parts of the Lord, are having its own transcendental taste. The face of the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord, name of the Lord, all are ocean of Satchidananda. Every part, every limb of the body is an ocean of Satchidananda. So every part of the Lord is, different parts of the Lord are different kinds of ocean of Satchidananda. There is no end to which the devotees can go on relishing the transcendental qualities of the Lord in the spiritual world. There is variety, at the same time, it is one personality. The face of the Lord and the lotus feet of the Lord is the Lord. But yet is lotus feet. Just like you say, my face and my feet, they are all body only. But the feet has got one function, face has got another function. There is a difference. So in the same way, the transcendental body of the Lord has also variegated what the holy name does, what the feeling or what the kripa that the holy name does in Kali Yuga as Namavatara. That activity is not done by when he appeared 5,000 years back. So each aspect of the Lord is transcendentally finer differentiations of rasas are there, so much so that a devotee tastes the holy name of the Lord, desires to taste the holy name of the Lord, desires to taste the lotus feet of the Lord, the protective feeling from the lotus feet of the Lord, desires to taste the visual beauty of the face of the Lord, eyes of the Lord, etc., etc. So, to have faith that the Lord can come into my life, that is the essence here. Devahuti is saying that, yeah, you can come into my life. I am ordinary human. From in my abdomen you appeared. So, in the same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also tasting, is Krishna himself who is tasting the devotion of Srimati Radharani. That is one of the reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, and because he wants to taste what is bhakti from the being in the shoes of Radharani, he wants to taste what is bhakti. As Krishna, he is tasting bhakti as a receiving end. So he wants to taste what is the taste of giving bhakti. And the best person who is giving bhakti, best of the bhaktis, is Radharani. So therefore Krishna, how beautifully Prabhupada has compared the Lord lying on the banyan tree as a baby and sucking his toes, to Lord Chaitanya's avatara as Krishna himself coming to taste the bhakti of Srimati Radharani. These are all such wonderful transcendental topics. The glories of the Lord, His devotees, and the transcendental signs of Advaya Jnana, how the spiritual world is all one, undifferentiated, inseparate, in one Advaya Jnana means diversity in unity. Diversity is the Lord, Lord's devotees, Lord's leelas, Lord's name, form, paraphernalia, service, devotion service, giving service, taking service, one who receives the service, one who gives the service. They're all called Advaya Jnana. They're all one. In fact, for an advanced devotee, even the material world is also part of Advaya Jnana. His material world is also spiritual. Everything is serving the Lord. Varieties are there, but yet everything is God's substance. If something is coming from a source, then that source must be one of the qualities of this, then what comes out must be one of the qualities of the source. So there is nothing in existence, whether material energy or spiritual energy, spiritual world or material world, as separated from the Lord. And this is total existence. This is a picture of the absolute truth, total existence. As per the Bhagavatam, simultaneously, everything is simultaneously one and different from the Lord. One in substance, there cannot be existing anything other than the Lord. And difference in functions. Jiva cannot be Vishnu, because it's an eternal difference. eternally, simultaneously one and different. One because every jiva cannot be separate from the Lord, because he has come out of the Lord. It is part and parcel of the Lord. Therefore, he is one. He is different because he is eternally a part of the Lord. So to appreciate or to always maintain this understanding of difference between Vishnu and the Jiva is very important, especially for those who are beginning in Krishna consciousness. After one has awakened one's love, when he is in particular relationship with the Lord, then he is more into relationship prasa, where the relationship is dominating with the personality of Godhead rather than the tattva. But in the material world, always, even Radha and Krishna worship, Prabhupada says, we are worshipping as Lakshmi Narayana in the material world, worshipping in the same platform of Lakshmi Narayana, but Radha Krishna only is receiving as Lakshmi Narayana. Then you offer the kind of devotion that Lord Chaitanya offered, then immediately Radha and Krishna is receiving that service. Even in our sadhana stage, even in our imperfect stage, whatever service we give is through the spiritual master, therefore it is acceptable. Otherwise, even Lakshmi Narayana Seva also, unless anything is only a pure substance can be offered to the Lord. A pure service can be offered to the Lord. And that is because of the spiritual master, because of that very reason, what seva we offer is Krishna seva. What we offer to spiritual master is Krishna seva. Krishna seva means seva, the one who is served should receive the service. Why the service? Why the Lord is receiving our devotion service? He is receiving our devotion service because of Srila Prabhupada. It is going through Srila Prabhupada. So all these benefits of what a perfected person can get, we get through the mercy of the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasadat, yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
This is a question regarding difference between holy name of the Lord and the name of demigods. In the aspect of giving liberation, the difference is understood, but in the aspect of omnipresence, how it can be differentiated, because even we call the holy name, the Lord is present, but even when a demigod's name is called, so they are also able to reciprocate. So how to identify the difference in the aspect of omnipresence?
There is a slight difference. The Lord wants, just like human being, he's given different kinds of powers. To animals, he's got different kinds of powers. To demigods, he's got different kinds of powers. So in the same way, the demigods, they're also given powers to appear in a space and time when the names are called, or they are given the powers to appear in a deity, different deities. They are given that power. But that is completely different from Vishnu deities, what happens in Vishnu deity and Vishnu Nama. Different. The demigods, they are not the owners of the stone in which they enter. they enter the stone and duality is there still. Just like soul and stone, body, differentiation is there. So similarly the demigods, there is duality there. When in Vishnu, when he enters, there is no duality because that stone is also him only. Isn't it? So holy name is non-different. Immediately already the sound that, every sound is him only. Every metal is him. Every thing is him. So in the case of Vishnu, he simply, as per the devotion, he personally appears. But it is him. Everything is him only. But because of devotion, he says, okay, now I'll come here to reciprocate. That is the only difference. Even before installing a deity also, he is Krishna only, God only. Our body is also God only. Everybody is everything, earth, everything is Krishna only, because there cannot be two substance. Substance is one. Either as energy or as source. Substance is one. All substances have two categories, source or what emanates from that source. Both are substance, just like sunlight, sun and sunlight. Right? Substance is same. Sunlight energy is also light and heat. Sun is also light and heat. So in the same way, Krishna is Satchidananda. Everything that comes from him is also Satchidananda. In different categories. Varieties of Satchidananda. Material energy is also one variety of spiritual energy. But in order to differentiate it from the spiritual energy whose function is to always keep us in Krishna consciousness, from the energy which constantly acts to test us as to keep us away from Krishna consciousness. That is called material energy. Material energy is not illusion. The manifestations that the material energy creates in the minds of the living entities is illusion. That is actually Maya. So, the holy name of the Lord, let's say ordinary person is chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He doesn't know anything. He's just calling those names. The fact remains that that is the name of the Lord. But in that, there is, Lord may not manifest his mercy to reciprocate. In the same way in which we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When we chant Mahamantra, same thing, Ye Tamam Pravartante Tam Sate Bhajamiham. Each of us have different levels of relationship developed with the holy name. The Lord manifests in proportion to the faith of the devotee in the beginning. After crossing the threshold of faith, then there is love, reciprocation based on the love. As much faith you have, I reciprocate. Krishna first. Then as much love you have, I reciprocate. So that is all the difference is, as far as the Lord manifestations are concerned. But as far as demigods are concerned, it is still within a material phenomena, a material arrangement given to the powerful living entities who are demigods to appear in the deity. And that's all. They are still, they have duality. Everybody other than Krishna has duality. Soul and something outside is soul. Any other question?
One more question. Then what about the incarnation of Dattatreya? Because whether he is Jiva Tattva because, or Shiva Tattva or Vishnu Tattva, because all three tattvas are there in that, if there is a deity of Dattatreya.
Yeah, Lord does inconceivable things. That is all you can understand. He can do inconceivable things. No fixed rule for the Lord. Everything has a purpose. Every incarnation has a purpose. So to fulfill that purpose, the Lord can do anything. Any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Nilakshi. So, first of all, I want to say I'm a big time fan of yours.
Is?
Sorry?
Once again?
I'm Nilakshi. Hare Krishna Prabhu,
okay.
I'm Nilakshi. So, first of all, I want to say that I'm a big time fan of yours. I've been following you before coming to ISKCON as well. I've read about you, your autobiography, and all of that. So, it's a really good initiative that you started, and all the Prabhus at ISKCON.
Mic little, you have to keep away.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
What about this?
I didn't get your question.
So my question is coming. Yeah, just a bit of introduction before that. So what I was saying is, when I came over here, I mean, all the Prabhus are like so disciplined and so committed. I mean, I'm so inspired seeing them. I'm so sure that each and every Prabhu is going to go really high about that. So my question is, you said that Vishnu and Jiva, both of them have independence of some sort. Obviously, Vishnu has all pervading independence. It's like the absolute independence. But Jiva has got some part of that independence, if not all of it. So, like, I work out there. So, as a person, I have some independence. When I go out there, I have got to take a decision of my own. I've got candidates that I've got to cater to. So, when I take a decision, I've got to use my own brains and I've got to use my own independence. At that time, I'll have to think on my own. But I know that Krishna is all independent. He's the one who's controlling me. Where do I draw a line between my independence and Krishna's independence? When do I say that Krishna is the commander, not me? When I'm out in the material world. In the spiritual world, it's like all spiritual, no issues. But when the material world, with a lot of materialists around, where do I say this is where my independence stops and this is where Krishna is a controller for me?
Yeah, independence doesn't stop. It's dovetailed. Either it's independently, independence, even when you serve the Lord, what does it mean? You serve His desires. When you serve His desires, that means you are adopting the desire to please His desires. So now, in this also you are still independent because you have independently chosen to adopt the desire of the Lord. So, the independence does not stop. It is your eternal quality to be independent. That is why the Lord tastes the devotee's love, because they have to choose to, they have a choice to serve Him or not serve Him. So, then, let's say in the material world, we are influenced, our free will is influenced by material energy. In the spiritual world, our free will is influenced by the internal energy. So, the living entity can again choose to get influenced. But having chosen, then he has no choice, because he cannot be all free. Suppose I chose to put my hand in the fire, then my hand has to burn. But so my hand has to burn, there you don't have independence, because you've chosen to put your hand in the fire. So there is always, the living entity is always surrounded by either internal energy or external energy. Internal energy influences, does not force, influences in one manner towards internal energy, towards devotion to Krishna. External energy influences the living entity to forget Krishna. So, ultimately, if you see in another way, if you want to put it, the living entity's free will is the free will to associate. So, if you associate with, even in the material world, they say you associate with bad people, you will get bad qualities. So there is a choice, you associated. If we do not know where our choice is, and if we think that I can do anything like Krishna can do anything, anywhere, because everything is spiritual and everything is, he is influencing, he is not influenced by his energy. All energies are serving the Lord. But the living entity is always a servant, either servant of internal energy or external energy. We will be under the influence. We can choose whose influence we want.
Okay,
And
so-
after we choose to get influenced by something, then we cannot change our consciousness. We have to go through that experience.
Exactly. So you're saying that influencing and the fact that Krishna is all independent, but we have got to fulfill the desires that Krishna has got for us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the point. So just one last question that I have, because obviously I wouldn't otherwise get a chance or session to ask you a question. One thing, there are like two worlds. For me, there are like two worlds, material world and spiritual world. When I go out there, there's material world. When I am doing this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and obviously Lord Chaitanya said the easiest way in this Kali Yuga to actually connect to Krishna is chanting Mahamantra, and that's the spiritual world. So there's a gap between the material world and spiritual world. So how would you suggest a person like me who works out there to bridge this gap between the material world and spiritual world, if not completely remove the gap fully?
No, spiritual world is spiritual world, material world is material world. But when you are in the material world, it is possible to experience, without going to a spiritual world, to experience the spiritual world. Like a pure devotee is always, they say he is in Vrindavan always. And Prabhupada explains, just like radio waves. There is a difference between hearing a radio and actual seeing. Or there is a difference between seeing something in the television and actual shot in the real world. There is a difference. But experience-wise, if because of the television, you can, in your room, you can see what is going on in the studio. So in the same way, in the material world, if you have to experience, a real way of experiencing is, all your senses are awakened and you are in the spiritual world. But in the material world also, you can experience spiritual world. You can experience spiritual world without being there. That is with pure devotion. So otherwise, spiritual world is somewhere and material world is somewhere.
Thanks a lot, Prabhu.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.